They say the glass ceiling for working women is cracking. But is it really? Hello and welcome back to a brand new season of Women Talk, and that's season 8. And today we're kicking off the season with a topic that we can't get enough of, and with good reason. That is why, specifically, there are so many women of us on the ground, but yet still so few of us in leadership positions. This topic comes off the back of Grant Thornton's 2025 study of women in business, which cites that, especially in Malaysia, we're sliding backwards in terms of that number of representatives in women in leadership. According to this study, the percentage of women in senior management roles has slipped from 40.4% in 2023 to 36.4% in 2025. And that's really concerning, considering how much we have been talking about this. Right. There's been policies in the government that are there to address, and the number of businesses as well where actually no women are in senior positions, that number has tripled. So what's really going on? And that's what we're here to discuss. Is it workplace culture? Is it access to mentors? Is it something deeper like self-belief, social conditioning? Is it all of the above? And joining me today are two women I'm very excited to have on this show who see leadership in different ways. Please join me in welcoming Najah Tamidzi, who is a public relations lecturer who has studied specifically how women communicate, influence and lead. Welcome to the show, Najah.
Thank you so much, Anita.
And we also have Anusia Ramasamy, who is in her own right a business coach and leadership strategist who helps professionals, especially women who happen to be the majority of your clientele, unlock their potential, overcome limiting beliefs and build visibility in the workforce.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Anita.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
All right. So, you know, I can understand it was to me news that we had in fact slipped backwards. How do you both feel about this? Najah?
Regarding this topic itself, we have to look at how the leadership roles comes in. It was designed by men and for men.
Yes.
I can say that because it is like that earlier. But right now we have to have a bit of changes. We need to give more women, space to women, for women to grow, more opportunities for women to grow, and more expectation instead of just a normal stereotype. Give more expectations, good ones to the women, so that women can move forward.
Okay.
If not, we'll be there forever, stagnant.
Yes. So let's talk about, let's break it down, first of all, from your observation on ground, especially because you lecture and you teach and mentor the women and men of tomorrow.
Right now, the biggest roadblock is the stereotype. Okay, because the cultural expectation, I would like to highlight that. Women, even in 2025, should be seen as the one stays in the kitchen instead of in the computer or giving big decisions, for example. So I will always create a safe space to my students in the classroom, be very open, regardless of gender, because they need to know your worth. They need to know their own understanding of what they can do for their career.
Okay. Yeah. And how does effective communication bridge the gap between women being able to step confidently into power and perhaps not even realizing that they have a space to do so? In the classroom itself, I think for a lecturer like myself, we have to create an open space. But not just that, at home as well. If you have a very good supporting system, that's a bonus for a working woman. It's like a game changer to have a loving family that doesn't judge you and support you all the way. That's another one of the things that women should have for them to grow. That's how I see it. And I think, let's not forget as well that you're teaching young men in classrooms. And I think
Gen Zs.
And it's so important. I don't know, how do you find Gen Zs? Are they a little bit more woke, in terms of being allies to women in this space?
Collectively itself, they are very brave, very confident. They will straight away give out their opinions, and they'll straight away cut off if they feel something is off. They are very brave.
It's different from our
generation.
Exactly. Okay, we'll transition, onto that, because Anusia, we had the pleasure of actually tapping into how you come from a different lens in terms of how women have been raised and in a maybe not so traditional role, perhaps where you've always been encouraged as a young woman to pursue your goals. So can you tell us what your go-to practice is and how you feel about this environment?
Okay, so Anita, it's actually a big shocking news for me when I saw the data and I heard you saying it about 4% down. I mean, with all the women empowerment program, leadership initiatives, mentoring platform, we are slipping down further. So that's big surprise and aha moment for me as well. So this is an interesting topic. So coming back to my go-to practices, I think I always start with the purpose. So why I do certain things. I go back to my why. Like, why did I, quit my corporate job and went into entrepreneurship at the age of 23.
Wow.
And why I started this business, which it was just a passion project, and today it has become my heart and soul. So I always go back to the purpose of why, to build the confidence, and also to build my confidence around the people around me. So other little rituals also help, being consistent in certain things. Because leadership, for women or men, it's always about consistency. What we say, you walk the talk. Walk the talk. So I do little ritual for myself, like affirmation, like even coming to this stage today. I could see Naja and myself. Oh, we are nervous. I think I'm nervous. But at the same time, I'll do this little ritual where I say, I'm a winner. I can do this. I've seen many stages. So that consistency, that self-talk helps.
Is important, right? You tapped into something really interesting here about self-talk and about self-belief as well. I think both of you touched on. Is that somewhat part of the problem that you see among women trying to rise in their careers? I mean, what do you see more? Is it external barriers, internal barriers, a combination of the both? Very quickly, Anusha,
So, for me, I think it's both internal and external. Let me share a little story. When I started my career, it was in oil and gas. At that time, way back 25 years ago, it's
very male-dominated.
Very male-dominated. So, imagine I'm going for a meeting. It's all about technical talk, technical jargon, and I'm not from an engineering background. The room is filled with men, and I get very nervous and I lose my confidence. But much later, I realized it wasn't, I'm not confident because I'm a woman. I'm not confident because I do not know the subject matter.
Right.
So I really worked very hard. I learned all the technical things. I went for AutoCAD classes. I learned the design calculation, engineering calculation. I go to the floor and see how the production is done. And I build myself on confidence. And I realized it was not about the only woman in the room. It was about the most prepared person in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, gender isn't a bias in that sense. If you've already got a seat at the table, show up.
Correct.
And then
the respect comes naturally. So I think for me, it's a lot more, the internal talk is very important. Of course, there's some external things that we can solve. Maybe Naja, you can,
talking about external.
Yes.
Because the idea that the society has for women working, it's a bit different because they think that, like I said earlier, women should be positioned here. Yes, not here, for example. Even in interviews, for example, I've got some questions where I received some questions asked for me. They said, are you married? Are you planning to get married? Do you want to have kids? Are you planning to have kids? So that questions, yes.
It's bias of its own. Would you ask a man that question?
8 years ago, seriously. So when I checked with my students, how's your interview and everything, some of them have received the same question. It was just another 3 years ago. So I'm like, are we doing this every single time?
This is a fantastic point that you've touched on. Hold that thought as we'll be continuing this discussion right after this quick break. Stay tuned.
Women today aren't just breaking barriers, they're redefining what leadership looks like, one bold step at a time. But let's be honest, the journey isn't always easy. It's filled with doubt, resistance, and moments that test our strength. Yet, every challenge holds a lesson, every setback, a chance to rise again. And through it all, mentorship makes all the difference.
I believe as a woman, I always have this idea that, okay, only a guy can be a company owner. It's never been a lady. So when I started, I was like, it's okay, I will do it very small because I don't believe in myself until I meet my role model. Having the right mentor in your life is a very important thingy for any lady who wants to succeed in their life.
My biggest barriers is how to portray my brand and then transfer it to my staff. That's the most difficult thing because they need to see the vision that I want to see as well. Okay, so what I did was I set a clear system that they can follow and also like a clear SOP for each one of their tasks.
When women lift one another, they create ripples that go far beyond business. Strength isn't the absence of struggle. It's the courage to keep moving, even when the odds are against you.
When I start my business, I don't have a clear roadmap. That's why when I have a mentor, it gives me guidance so that I can move my journey more successfully.
Mentorship isn't just about guidance. It's about belief, the kind that fuels ambition and helps women see what's possible. To these women, success isn't just about ambition, it's about resilience, belief, and the mentors who light the way forward.
The only advice I would say, never stop your dream.
Don't belittle yourself. Don't ever think that you are too small for anything. Just go with it, be open-minded, and take everything as an opportunity.
Every people will make mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes and we turn it to be a strength when we overcome the challenges. So we hope that every woman will have not a leadership by going alone, but growing with together with the people who believe in your journey together.
Be the voice that lifts another.
Wow, that was inspiring indeed, and a wonderful reminder that sometimes what we need isn't necessarily a new plan, but a person who believes in our own potential. All right, Anusia, so congratulations. That must have been a very heartwarming testimonial of sorts.
It's really touching what they have said, and these women are super women in their own field. You know, you are seeing manufacturers, you're seeing bakers, you are seeing
such diverse
tax agents there, right? Diverse background, strong background. They are, you know, they play multiple roles: mother, daughter, sister, and runs businesses and takes care big corporate companies, and they're going global. That's amazing kind of feeling to hear what they say.
I think it reminds you of your purpose, right? Is your why. It reminds you why you keep doing what you do. Can you tell us about how, you know, these women have had access to you? Okay, we're going to look into something a bit more inclusive. What about for the women who do not have access to formal mentors, perhaps, or sponsors? How would you recommend that they still build a circle of support?
Right. Okay, there's many resources, unlike what were available for maybe Naja and I. I'm not sure how old is Naja, but back in the days, we are not able to find those kind of support. So we are actually in a very lucky era. The information is just, you know, seconds away. You can search online. You can have a good portfolio on LinkedIn. You can actually search for mentors over there. You'll be surprised when you send a good message to those women leaders on even in social media or LinkedIn, how many of them actually replies back to you?
That is impressive.
Yes, there's a lot of women who are willing to support another sister. Yeah, it's just that you need to ask. And you need to be bold enough to ask. And I think a lot of times we are not surrounding ourselves with the right group of people. This is what I've noticed. While coaching women, I've noticed that they are not in the right circle of network. That's the reason at times they have great innovative ideas, but they can't go forward with it. So when we do the discovery questions during the coaching, we realize that, hey, actually, you didn't have the right person saying to you, you can go for it.
What kind of networks would you recommend that women seek out?
Okay, there is a lot of industrial-based associations out there. You can knock doors. It's a very small fee. Sometimes you can pay and be part of it. They have weekly meetings, monthly meetings, but you need to make the effort to be present. There's also, you can search for social media. There's many business-related, depends on your interest. If you are in the manufacturing side, there is a manufacturing association. If you are in the service industry, you can look for those women-based companies, associations as well. There's many resources out there.
Yeah,
you can support
Anusia,
to get through that.
You're also saying, listen, this is it's also up to us
Yes.
to be seen and to increase that visibility.
Yes.
to be
People
able to
are
step
not
up
going to
the
come
plate.
looking for you.
Yeah,
you
true.
need to search for it.
Yeah.
The more you search, the more you get.
This is great.
Yeah.
Great tip there, Anusia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For young women right now, they need to be very open, not to boast or to be rude, but they have to know what they want to do in life. That's the biggest question. I always ask my student, what makes you happy? What makes you happy? So regardless of what people are saying, just do what you got to do to achieve that goal.
Right.
That's what I always emphasize to my students, regardless of gender, actually.
And when you've
Yeah.
gotten feedback from the alumni, say for
Yeah.
example, what has been the feedback in terms of like when they're trying to reach higher positions, reaching senior positions?
Correct.
What is some of the advice that you give to them?
I tell them this kind of problem keeps on. You know, it's always there.
It's systemic.
It's systemic. it's not changing apparently. That's why we have to keep on talking about it. Move on to another company, because we cannot just respond aggressively to that person, right? To the interview, of course, it's a man, so we cannot do that. So be professional. Move on to another interview. We'll be seeing a lot of people like this. Be the bigger person. Move on to another interview.
Sometimes we
I
have
always
to know
tell
if
them
it's
that.
the environment.
Exactly,
And if it's the environment to recognize it. It's not even about a gender sometimes,
Exactly.
right? Thank you so much, Naja. Okay, unfortunately, this is a short segment and we have to go for a quick break. But when we're back, there's more continuing this discussion. Stay tuned. Still on Women Talk, it is our very first episode of Season 8 and we are delighted to be kicking off this season with the topic of women at the top and as well how to get more women to the top. We've discussed the challenges, the biases, we've talked about mentorship, sponsorship. We're going to go more into that, but let's touch a little bit about this trend about how soft girl era or soft feminine leadership, right? Personally, when it comes to feminine leadership, what does that mean to you, Naja?
Okay, feminine leadership is where there's just a style where the boss, the leader, listens to the subordinate instead of instructing.
More empathic.
More empathic. Listen more and understanding their motivations, understanding their feelings first before giving out the task.
Okay.
They listen first. That's the number one rule.
All
Feminine
right.
leadership. Yeah, they listen first.
And how do you feel that you practice this in your own career or life, in your style of leadership?
As a person myself, I would like to be approachable, regardless of who's coming to me, my students, my colleagues, or even strangers. Because being vulnerable, it does not show that you're weak. It's a strength, actually. That's how we, I think, emphasize the feminine leadership.
Feminine leadership is the new era of leadership, whether it's for women or men.
Yeah.
Okay, both gender needs this, because in leadership, what I see now, you need to show a lot of care, love. You have to be an active listener. You have to have strong emotional intelligence. If you need to go for NLP, you got to do all of that. All of that.
Yeah.
You know, being a coach, I've covered all of those things, right? So it's not easy to manage the younger generation, and also because of the generational gap that we are seeing at the workforce right now.
Absolutely.
When we work with corporates, we are also seeing they are struggling with the generation gap. So I think this is where the feminine leadership will really play a major role, where you work with the heart. At the same time, we are not being, this is not a weakness, you know, we shouldn't mistaken feminine as weakness. It's
doesn't
actually
mean
a great strength.
Yeah, I think if anything, what you're saying is that it's an addition. It doesn't mean that you don't know how to be stern or you don't know how to call the shots.
Exactly.
It's an additional quality to be more conscious of.
I think it's a superpower for me, because you can be really powerful, you can be assertive, you can be confident, you can be strong. At the same time, you're this caring, loving, good listener kind of leader.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the world needs now.
Yeah.
And we, for women, it comes naturally to us.
Let's wrap up the topic in terms of how each of you think what women can do to truly step up in their game, and also for other women in capturing more leadership roles.
Right. So I'll start first. I think we need to play the role of mentor and sponsor hand in hand. For example...
Can you define sponsorship?
Okay.
How it's different from mentorship?
So, mentorship is getting someone to know their potential, right? Sponsorship is getting others to know this person's potential.
So it's how you propagate for them behind closed doors, right?
Behind closed doors. I'll give you an example. I have a very close colleague of mine. She's great in her AI and digital transformation work. So wherever I go for any meeting, I speak about her.
Fantastic.
And you know what she said? You advocate me better than I do for myself. It's like I'm like her spokesperson for her.
Yeah.
Because I know she brings a lot of value to the clients that she work with. And there's nothing, for us to compete here.
Yeah.
We collaborate. We complement each other. And I love doing this for our women. So I think women, we have to do this for our the women surrounding us. Identify certain potential and sell their skills.
Yeah, and I think this is something that our male allies can do too. You know, because there's so many of them at the top, and it means a lot that our male allies also sponsor the women that they see have the potential and are capable.
Yes. I had the absolute pleasure of working with very good male mentors. So yes, definitely male can do that as well.
Nanja, what about you?
On to that, I think it all starts from home as well. It's for young women, young mother right now, young millennials mother. You need to support whatever that your children is doing, especially the young girls. They need to know their worth, they need to know their value, because everything comes from home as well. When you have the mindset, your children can do anything that they want to do, it's easier. Like I said earlier on, to have supporting family members without judgmental, it's a plus point, it's a bonus for a working woman. So shout out to my family and my husband for giving me this support to be here even in this position right now. Yeah,
absolutely.
That is fantastic.
That is the
Thank you both so much for your inspirational sharing and for the work that you do. Thank you for all the work that you do and for being here today.
Thank you.
We've heard it all today, in fact. We've heard about the barriers, the biases, but also, more importantly, the breakthroughs and what we can do ourselves. So leadership maybe isn't just about waiting for a door to open, but perhaps it's about making that table ourselves and building and bringing more women along to the table with us. With that, I'm Anita Woo. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Women Talk TV3, at TV3 Malaysia as well. Thank you for spending your time with us. And with that, we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.